What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 27 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Orion Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, once again a pile of battles culminating in a pretty massive assault on Kasabar by Akka the Wandering Wield. We still took a teensy bit of damage, but at the end of the day, the Eagles allowed us to not be destroyed by the enemy range units, which they had a absolutely massive pile of, i.e. the good range units of the Tomb Kings, like the Ushabtu Great Bow and stuff. Anyway, Akka did well is what I'm getting at. This time around, as I was musing last episode, we're going to switch our switch tacks a little bit as to how we're going about this, since we found out that the rituals can't be popped at the same time. It means we have to essentially mill turns, and I mean a lot of turns, like 70 turns or something like that, meaning we are going to have to withdraw from combat for a little bit, and we will still probably get a few auto-resolves going here and there, but we'll probably try to move most of our armies back towards our main settlements, and, well, hopefully our allies don't get overrun while the Wood Elves, you know, continue to be neutral and do nothing, which is, to be fair, also kind of appropriate for them. So we'll see how that goes for us, and whether or how many of these rituals we can pop. So let's start. Durthu, you have not moved. You're going to grab this mysterious island here, and this will also hopefully allow us to avoid the plagues, though I also noticed that we are not healing at all, which ain't so great. Go for aggression, because that might help with the auto-resolving, and Mathland's Blessing will also help in that light. I take it that if we go to the Sea of Storms here, we won't be able to heal? No, alright, so we'll stay here in the Sea of Dread, and we'll probably wait out until the Plague here at Ruin's End ends, and maybe raise it. I'm not wondering if whether we could become friendly with Goldtooth by giving them a few territories. Unfortunately, they are still at war with the High Elves. I would prefer them not to get overrun, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, Loren, you can actually just stay around Sartosa for now. I don't know whether there's a need to send you anywhere, but at the same time, you can guard all of these territories, as they're providing us a plus 30% between these three and come from all buildings faction-wide, which is significant enough to warrant guarding. Iskura, you are going to probably knock down at least a few of the territories, or the, not territories, well, actually territories as well. I was going to say armies, but yeah, just weaken the Vampire Coast a little bit so that they can't move on here. So we'll jump you here, and if they want to attack us with like 3 armies, I would be happy to fight them, but if they don't, then we'll just probably just destroy the one at Lanwapek. If I go here, like so, I want to be close enough to draw out the garrison of Lanwapek, as well as, hopefully, all these other armies. Just in case they do attack us, if they're brave enough, we will also probably want to take Wings of the Forest. I was originally going to put Forest Dragons in here, but it's not crazy necessary right now. We want to get towards Stand Your Ground. The other alternative would be to continue moving through the various spells, which is also nice. Ooh, Speed of the Hunter. Okay, I forgot that I hadn't gotten that. We should definitely have Speed of the Hunter on ya. And I still like the idea of Stand Your Ground, so we're going to go through Wings of the Forest now, even though the Blade Storm is quite great as well. Azerit, you could grab Woven Mist, I suppose. No, you're going to go max out Travel All Paths for the additional campaign movement range, which is always nice. We should also get your Vanguard deployment ASAP. You know what? 2 and then 1 into Vanguard deployment. And because right now, all of the Blade Singers and the War Dancers can Vanguard deploy, but the Shadow Dancer that leads them cannot. Dora here probably wants to move towards Retinue Physician. I mean, I guess we could get marked by Kernus. Is this a forest territory? No. There are a lot of trees around. Now it's jungle. I assume jungle counts as forest, so this would still work. Yeah, fine. We'll do that, and then we'll go through Retinue Valet, and then lastly, you... We could max out Howl of the Forest. Oh, you don't have Evasion or Dark Spirit. You know, get Dark Spirit because of the enemy leadership reduction and Evasion, and, well, Shield of Isha. Like so. The rest of that, I think, is good enough. Alright, who's up next? Zaltathios does not need to move. Azerit is Alright, I'm gonna name you Guardian Azerit because that'll remind me that you never need to move again. Alright, just guard the Shrine of Cain forever, and be corrupted by Cain while you're there. Anyway, use Sisters of Twilight, grab Cragrot Deep real quick with a quick auto-resolve. We'll probably raise it or abandon it or something. A teensy bit of damage. You know what, we're going to... a Ruin Barrier or trading to ally. You know what, I think we'll just go for the Ruin Barrier. Although, you know what, seeded and then abandoned it after. 5,000 gold is not enough to be super concerned with. Hag Grief might have a better raise value for us, so we might still grab that, we shall see. Alright, that was the Sisters of Twilight. And I've lost where they are in the order, unfortunately, and... Okay, it's not Zoltathios, it's not Azerit, because he's a Guardian now. Akka does not need to move, this is the other Akka. You just keep guarding Conquata. Draika, you might actually need to fight, as we do want to knock von Carstein out. Either occupy or raise the moot. He is starting to run out of armies here, which will hopefully mean... Oh, wait. Looks like... Wait. They built a Forest Eagle. Good job, Elspeth. I am so proud of you. If you're wondering why, because the AI has a bad tendency to build the worst units out of outposts. Like, all the time when I ally with units, for example with vampire counts, I see my allies just building zombies and skeleton warriors, and going like, what the heck are you doing? And build something good. You have so many choices, you just built the worst. But anyway, let's see if anybody else needs to fight. Stresslife is fine, sitting where he is. Ellen Delling is here to recruit once we're ready. Akka should either hit Bagar or Springs of Eternal Life. Probably don't necessarily need to push all the way up to Camry. We could raise Springs of Eternal Life, and then, on the other hand, we could just hit Bagar. I mean, I know that they're kind of friendly, but they're kind of disliked by all the other factions around, so I think we should still destroy them. Sorry, Dune Kingdoms. Plus, they only have the one territory, and it is a heathland that we'll probably want to transfer to our little lizard friends, who are not at war with Camry, and thus would not be losing the heathland, hopefully. Go. Declare war, yes. Don't call allies to help. Akka should have no problem auto-resolving this. We'll occupy it, then we'll raise Springs of Eternal Life, but probably stop short of bothering with Camry itself, because there's a few more heathlands in the mountains. Auto-resolve. And occupy Heathland. There we go. Another Val's Anvil Smith and another... Campaign movement range out of the gem mine. You know what, build a gem mine for now. We might actually make some use of it now. And if we're gonna trade it anyway, I suppose it doesn't really matter what we have there. Alright, so that was Akka. Anybody else need to move? No, I think Akka was the last, meaning we fight with Draika, and then we're good to go. At the turn, I mean. Draika, you have to go through... We could get your buffs for your Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma. Oh, or we could get you all of the abilities that you're missing. Ooh, we could also get the +8 recruit rank for Branch Wraiths. Hero action cost. I would have preferred hero action success chance. Oh, we could get Mantra of the Fallen. Leadership reduction, enemy leadership for Elven units. Rouse to Wrath, an additional charge and infinite range. Yeah, it's a significant power up. Alright, fine. We will go for Shifting Woods to get Befuddlement of Mischiefs and Mantra of the Fallen to get the Rouse to Wrath power up. You guys are not rank 15 as yet, so I'm not going to bother leveling you up, but we will bother with Coadil because he's got a lot of good stuff. Now, Coadil... summons a Manticore rather than Eagles, which is actually, it's a lot worse. It makes it a lot worse. Manticore summon is not nearly as useful as the Eagle summon, so we're going to go for Flock of Doom, I think, as that's the thing that we're most likely to be spamming. And we'll go for Wisdom's Wild Form, Doombolt, and all that sort of good stuff otherwise, afterwards. Or rather, alright, let's hit Vladdy Daddy. He will, well, he'll stand against us, but probably not for long. Go. Alrighty, here we go. I always wonder what Draika is saying as she angrily rushes the enemy, but as some people pointed out in previous campaigns, it's probably a good idea that we can't understand the horrifying, not vindictive, invective, there we go, brain dying, that Draika is up to. Well, same thing for Coadil and pretty much all the malevolent spirits, and generally speaking, something to along the lines of, damn those fleshy meatbags. Oh wow, Draika towering over the vampire. Although I suppose fleshy meatbags doesn't quite apply to the vast majority of the vampire count's units. Anyway, Draika has reached the enemy vampire first, who decided to run at her rather than attempt to wait for Draika to close in with Vlad. And that's just fine by us, as well, this vampire probably doesn't have much of a chance, and neither does this one, at least against Draika. They will work together, but Vlad will actually head towards our main line. Speaking of our main line, we Vanguard deployed it to one side of the enemy army over here, and we've done damage and destroyed a couple of the enemy units, and, well, it's always advantageous to deploy when you have Vanguard deployment to one side of the enemy army, and we're definitely going to take full advantage of it. And bats are heading down, looking to tie up our malevolent dryads with bows, but the bats have a low melee attack and very, very high melee defense, but the melee attack on the malevolent dryads with bows is pretty okay at 45. They cause poison, and their weapon strength is still 61. They have the same weapon strength as the regular non-bow malevolent dryads, and just at the cost of low HP and low defense, which means aerial units that move in to attack them like this, well, they get ripped apart rather quickly, and the dryads can defend themselves. I'm gonna drop a couple of Assault of Stone via the Scrolls of Stone on the enemies that are surrounding Draika. She has started to cause one of the vampires to melt away, and I believe the other one has moved away to try to reinforce Vlad after taking a beating from Draika. Not to worry, as the other vampiress has moved in, Draika's handmaids are ready to meet her in combat as well, and just like Draika, will bring her down as we turn our attentions to Vlad. And Coadil is there to face off against Vlad himself, though Vlad only gets wounded for a single turn, exemplifying the idea of how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man. We'll be seeing him time and time again, I'm sure, but not for much longer in this particular fight, as Coadil brings him down. I mean, I'm not even mad that he didn't go down on cue, because Vlad is one of the hardest lords to bring down, in the sense that he has so much healing. It's pretty darn intense, but Coadil will deal with him shortly, I'm sure. And Draika has taken care of the other vampire and destroyed one of the enemy corpse carts, and it looks like Vlad has begun to disintegrate. Really, this particular battle was just a matter of dealing with the enemy heroes, as, ooh, there we go, nice hit from one of the branch wraiths. It looks like Handmaid and got the kill this time around, and just as Draika moves back into the fray and starts ripping into those poor Graveguard and Necromancers and whatever remains. It looks like with Vlad's defeat, as well as his other two vampires, we are good to go and watch the rest of the enemy army and just disintegrate. This is, I think, the first time that we also allowed Coadil to act by himself without his two malevolent treeman bodyguards. Because of the way that we deployed meant that most of the enemy army would hit the left flank, meaning we needed something to anchor the line, or the dryads would take quite a bit of damage. And it was safer to play it like that. Plus, since Vlad directly headed towards our main line, the center of our stack, we needed Coadil to deal with him. I was originally expecting Vlad to help the other two vampires fight Draika, but it looks like he didn't want any part of that. Anyway, there we go. With that, the enemy army shatters, the undead disintegrate and return to their graves, and we chase down and rip the Sylvanian crossbows that were there to shreds. Not that they were able to achieve much, but still, you get Pet's Random Dryad. I love the sort of a faceless thing that the Dryads have going on. At least some of them. You have eyes. Like the ones without eyes, they look creepier. And it's great for the malevolent ones in particular, but anyway. Alrighty, and we got an Armor of Destiny out of that. Very, very nice. I think that's the first one we've got in this entire campaign, though the Wood Elves seem to get a lot less items than the High Elves do, as far as I've noticed. And the High Elves seem to get like 5 times as many than they do, though they do have a lot of buffs to their magic item find chance via various means. So, yeah. Anyway, Kewidil did the lion's share of the work this time around, as, well, he was the one who beat Vlad down and kept using that Flock of Doom this time around, so a little bit more damage on him. We're going to seed the Moot. We don't care about keeping it, but we will use it to heal up because we have limited healing while it's winter for our Forest Spirits. Defeated Vlad gives us additional HP for Drek, and the enemy hero success chance reduction is actually fairly helpful as well. Mootland's secured, not that we care about it, and we will build the... we don't really need to build anything there. Well, I mean, we can build the cattle pastures for when we transfer. Also, looks like we completed a number of missions, and maybe Elspeth can take a few territories without us having to do it for her. I would really like if we could just stop here and then move back this way to like Karadromar and Oakenhammer and Zufbar rather than continuing on this way, but leaving Vamps around may also be a bad idea. Could easily auto-resolve Aberheim, though. Hopefully Elspeth takes it. You know what, let's guarantee it. Well, it's not gonna guarantee it, but occupy rather than raise or sack or whatever, because the AI has a bad tendency to do so. Anyway, we're gonna skip, at least I hope so. And go to next turn, gotta whittle down those turns, mill through those turns, whatever you want to call it, until we can reach the next ritual. Really silly that you can't do multiple at the same time, though. But anyway, Imrek wants us to declare war against Goldtooth. We were just talking about not declaring war on Goldtooth. And he wants the opposite. But let's face it, Imrek is kind of used to getting what he wants. Kassabar, Cetra will attack Kassabar by himself. Oh, that's pretty neat. He's probably going to sack it, though. He's not going to take it, I think. He will probably have sacked and then returned to where he came from, because otherwise we'd be in range of taking him. Yeah, see, owner, Talsyn, Kassabar, I think. Alright, ally mobilizes, New World colonies destroyed, unfortunate for them, but irrelevant to us. Ally occupies settlement, good. Ambusher discovered, this guy's still kicking, eh? And rather close to us. Can't quite reach where we want to go there. What about march stance? Well, we could march stance into Barak Var, meaning he'll probably go for Akendorf. Which is somewhat annoying, but at least this way we can catch up to him and just stop dealing with him. Alright, and there we go. Kadai research complete, meaning more forest health, which is lovely, but would be even more lovely if we could do all the rituals at once. But, yeah, still no dice. Still no dice. Oh well, we got 2 turns. Now let's see what we can do in this one. Orion, start with you, buddy. You were supposed to hunt down Bellicor. I'd actually love for you to go fight Capitano Sissoko, but we actually do want to deal with Bellicor, so we're gonna have to. Now you can't reach him in 1 turn, so we'll go into encamp stance so that we heal to full, and then move you this way towards him. I do wonder whether he'll actually bother trying to defend it or not. And hello, Hamathane Frost. Is this your only territory? No, it's not. Sorry, I'll have some stuff. I would actually like to talk to... Okay, you know what? What do we have in Nord? Nothing. Alright, Deluric. I'm going to send you this way, and we're going to have Ellen Delling jump over... Really? She can't... Huh. I thought she'd be able to. Well, that's unfortunate. Wait, what? Now she can? What the heck? What happened? Why? That's weird. Oh, it's probably because Deluric was moving and you can't use these stance well. Okay, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Go to Longship Graveyard, or at least near it. I don't actually care about the territory, and Nath needs to go over there to transfer these 2 great stagnates to Orion, but we'll deal with that after. Grower doesn't need to do anything. Durthu, you are waiting until this plague runs out, so you're just gonna sit here for the turn. I guess you could go to Shattered Stone Bay and heal a little bit more, because Shattered Stone Bay does not have the plague, so that's fine. Lorena, you are defending our 30% increase money from everywhere, so, and keep doing so. Who's up next? Trying to mill those turns. Datan. Now, We're gonna attack Bleak Cold Fortress with you. We don't necessarily have to, but giving it to the lizards might prove beneficial to us, and maybe the same with the Forest of Arnheim. So auto-resolve this, and occupy it. Nice for now. Create a barrier. Because these guys aren't actually fighting the lizards, and at least not right now, and maybe that'll be good. Alright, so yeah, you just sit there. Who's next? Loren has moved, Dave has moved, Akka has moved, I want to say. Right, you were supposed to... You can recruit Hawk Riders again, eh? I wanted to transfer this stuff to the Sisters of Twilight. Alright, fine. We got one turn until the hunt slumbers, so what we'll do is we'll move you here. And then we'll still recruit more of those guys, but afterwards. And then we'll send you to the Witchwood, like so. And then, well, I guess we can't send you back right now. We can actually have Serco travel and transfer. Alright, give this stuff to Serco. I didn't even check how many things the sisters needed, but that's alright. Serco, go to the Temple of Adeoth from there, and then go to wherever you're needed afterwards. And then Akka, you're sticking around because we can't use the world routes again for now. And we do still have another forced encounter, and we will probably make use of that to actually do a battle at some point. Alright, who is next? Did I fall out of the order again? I think I did. Alright, Nath does not need to move. I'm just gonna undo that stance because it'll confuse me. Iskura did not get attacked, and in fact, it looks like the looks like these guys backed up. Well, that's a lot of mortars, but I guess that would be a kind of terrible matchup for them, so fair enough. We will then auto-resolve Shlanwapek, and we'll trade it to somebody once we, I guess, build siege engines, as silly as that is. Really would want to put at least one forest dragon in here to be with the eagles so that they can have a siege attacker so that we wouldn't have to do this. Although it's not super important at this point in time. Guardian is fine, Recruiter is fine, Sisters of Twilight. We were going to head you potentially to Hag Grief, which you cannot reach in this stance, but you would be able to reach in this stance. Ignore Kragroth Deep. And what do we have at Hag Grief in terms of defenses? Pyrrhic Victory casualties, high. Alright, we're going to besiege it, give the enemy a chance to sally out together with the whatever other armies they care to bring, as this way we may be able to destroy them easily. Can we trade Kragroth Deep to you, or should we abandon it? We cannot trade it. In that light, I think we will abandon it so that Malekith does not retake it. As we don't want to hold the territory, as there is no real benefit to us doing so. And hey, Gromby has actually come out of his shell, or his capital, and actually tries to attack. Good for him. Alright, who's up next? Dulcith is fine-ish. You're just sort of holding on to units that were being used to recruit, but irrelevant for us right now. Trelon, I don't even know why I clicked you, or you. Draika, you did need to be clicked. Now, this is a different Vlad. Wait, or no, it is the same. Alright, he comes back in the same turn. That confused me for a sec. Go here, auto-resolve Averheim. Gonna have to book it to these territories afterwards, but for now. And Pyrrhic Victory, ooh, that ain't great. And the reason that ain't great is because we won't be able to heal up. But let's see, Winter is alive for how long? 2 more turns. Well, maybe it's not so bad. Just do it. She'll heal back to full by the time she gets back to where she needs to go anyway, so seed it. Forest Spirit, Ruby Ring of Ruin, you can't take that with you, kill it with fire. Okay, some useless missions with garbage rewards were aborted, oh no, whatever will we do. You guys, still saving for the Oak and Willow and whatnot, but I would like you to max out Replenish Troops and Dark Spirit, as that quite helps your army. And I guess the same thing goes for your Replenish Troops, Dark Spirit, Replenish Troops, Dark Spirit. And we'll save the rest of the points for the Dryades. You already have Dark Spirits, so we can ignore the rest. We'll take a look at it later. Coadil, you have Replenished Troops maxed out. And Coadil doesn't have Dark Spirit. He's he's the Dark Spirit. But anyway, at least where the Forest Spirits are concerned. Primeval Hatred, I guess, can't say no to Perfect Vigor. Alright, that was Draika. Who's up next? And we'll have to go research as well in a few seconds. Skura's Mood, if I can find Draika in the list. There she is. Stressleth, Ilandelling, Akka. Yeah, Cetra just sacked Kasabar. Alright, so, Akka, you cannot reach it. Oh. Well, isn't that a shame? If they can't reach it, what's the likelihood that Cetra could reach it? I don't know. Akka, go right here. Maybe we can interfere with him. We will still use Kasabar as bait then. And repair it, and go right in front of Cetra. Maybe that was too close, but whatever, I don't care. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have put him in our own territory to heal. But it's not like this is well defended anyway, so it hardly matters. And then we'll take Bagar, and then we'll give it to these guys. 4,000 gold? Yeah, sure. Go for it. Military alliance. There we go, very nice. Keep hold of our Heatlands. You are, well, hopefully somewhat unlikely to lose them. And we'll have to loop back around towards Karak Zorn. Though, if we do find or meet Scarby somewhere, I wouldn't say no to a fight with him with Akka. That would be a contest, certainly. A clash of the Titans. Stressled doesn't need to move Dodan. Oh, these are just recruiters. Tech thieves. Okay, we are still going to move the tech thieves, though. Tech thievery is not something that you can let go of. Especially since we do still need... Please rank up to rank 10. Ooh, she succeeded. Did she succeed enough to go to rank 10? No. Damn. Oh, game. Alright, fine. If you're gonna be like that... Not much I can do about it. There were other tech thieves here. Not you, there were others. You. Sulfuretza, I guess? 5? That's not bad. Try to succeed. Nice. And Specialist is maxed out, but we can start putting points into Steel Tech. And then there was 1. Move back around to Fallen King Mountain, or... Yeah, they're both 5, doesn't really matter. Hey, Golden Knight is around. What you doing? All the way back here. Alrighty, you guys. Who are you again? Ah, yes, you all need to be in certain armies. I will deal with you between the episodes as you're recruitment related. It's not critical right now, but I do want to check the Waystalkers. What do we have here? Lethal and Arrowhane. Kinda meh. I'll just ignore them for now. And just so that we don't have to move him. We will, however, pick a tech. Any tech at all, but not really. We were looking for tributes of the Oak for additional income, though that would cost us a little bit of research. Is there anything that would be immensely useful for us? Casualty or punishment rate for Forest Spirits. I'm gonna say we're gonna go with that. Missile resistance for all Elven units isn't too bad either. Mathline is fine as well for a little bit of extra cash, but it's not super necessary. But yeah, clearly the casualty or punishment rate is something we're still missing, and as such, still something we need to deal with. Alright, now I believe we're ready to end the turn. Just need to build some buildings. Alright, Haunted Forest, you're fine. You're fine. Avalorn, you are fine. Invidrioth is not so fine. Damn, look at that. Builders, go to Crag Halls. Let us build, I'm going to say the growth building to do more growth, and yes, dragons, that's what we're looking for. Gotta get those capacities. And you're also missing the hunting camp. And I guess I mean, we could build the hunting camp, but it's our only tier 5. I feel like we should get the Moonstone clearing for additional capacities. Probably a better use of our money. So what's Bald Animal like? Yeah, okay, we're waiting on that. Alright, Jungles of Cheon, you're fine. Lower Forest, you can upgrade to next tier, but after we spend all the money we're about to spend, probably not. Witchwood, you're kind of in the same situation, although you already have the structure, meaning we don't have to save this other slot, meaning we can build... Stagnites? No, I'm gonna say another one of these. Alright, good. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything here, but if I am, well, too bad, so sad. Sacred Pools, you're fine. Griffinwood, you are waiting for your ritual building. And your ritual, I suppose. Still 2 turns, alright. I'd like to activate the next one this episode if possible, game. Please make it possible. Averland, Averheim, and Bleakhold Fortress. I'd like 2 turns to build. Whatever, it doesn't matter. What I would like then to do is upgrade. You're all going to tier 5, yes? Yes, yes. Oh, you can build stagnites here now. We don't have capacity for them. Right. We already have them. All right. We should upgrade at least one of the places. Although, wait, spring will be a 10% reduction in all construction costs, so we're probably better off saving and then doing several constructions at once. If we could send an army out to sea, I'll probably get one of the recruiter armies being recruited right now. Send it out to sea, and then have them pick up materials at sea. That would probably speed up all these matters. Anyway, we'll skip. Hopefully, hopefully I didn't skip anything important, but if I did, I did. Summon Besieged, Hag Grief, as is appropriate, and Shalanhopek, I don't even remember. Oh, right, that one we had to do because we had no choice. Malekith would like us to peace out. We will maybe peace out with him, but I'd rather, yes, that is what I would rather. He will indeed sally out, and, well, you know what? Sisters of Twilight haven't had the chance to fight for a lot, so I think we'll give him a fight. Go. Alrighty, and them we shall, or the Sisters of Twilight shall. I keep wanting to say Sisters of Slaughter, especially when we're facing off against the Dark Elves, but hey, the Sisters of Twilight do slaughter aplenty, so it's not super inaccurate. Anyway, as I've mentioned many a time, well, mostly in the Imric campaign, I think, or at least more in the Imric campaign, the Eagles make for great assassins against single entities. We see them drop down and almost, well, take more than half HP off the Supreme Sorceress of Fire here, and immediately pretty much cause her to rout. The same thing is happening to the Sorceress of Dark, and these Eagles will get all of the enemy magecraft off field even before the armies are really engaged. Though, of course, the Sisters of Twilight are already dishing out some damage there. 30 kills to their name, nearly 6,000 damage, and that's only going to climb. All the while, of course, our units of Hawk Riders annoy the enemy from up above. Alright, anyway, we'll leave our Eagles to chase the enemy down. Looks like the Hawk Riders are working on the Dread Spears and Shades here. Perhaps the latter are moving to try to reinforce these Sorceresses before they get killed by the Eagles. But too little, too late. Forest Eagles navigate the trees. They feel right at home as they do, I'm sure, and continue to shoot arrows into the enemy below them. Must be a pretty scary sight to see the Hawks flitting between the trunks there and above the canopies, never knowing when those giant hawks or great forest eagles will drop down upon you and rip you to shreds. Gotta remember that the hawks and eagles are pretty freaking huge. They have no problem just obliterating any infantry they come across. Alright, it does look like some of the enemies are trying to head towards us. One good thing about having a few ground units is that the enemy actually attempts to reach them, which means we can take advantage of it and fire upon the enemy with our hawks. The enemy has moved out of the forest here, and we are going to summon a few more great eagles via the Allure of Beasts. Not so much to help us out, but to help chase. I don't think we're going to have too much trouble with this particular army, though I suppose we've been surprised before. Some armies turn out to be less impressive than others, and then other armies turn to be more impressive than others. Blackguard of Naggarond heading towards us. Too bad we could never get a couple Dark Elven allies and going. I like the idea of using all the various different elf units at once. There we go. I mean, Malekith in SFO has the mechanic that allows him to build a bunch of high elven units, which we certainly took advantage of in the Malekith campaign. We were missing Wood Elf units, of course, but, well, because we were... in that one, the endgame scenario was Wood Elves, so that was never going to happen. I'd like to see a sort of contest between executioners and probably not Well, Bladesingers, yeah, Bladesingers might be an interesting matchup, although the armor piercing of the Executioners would be wasted, and the armor piercing of the Bladesingers would not. Anyway, one unit of Blackguard of Nagaron is dead, but another one moves in to join the fray once more. Reinforcements have arrived as well, though it looks like those enemies that are in the forests are having a particularly bad time, as the Great Eagles, at the very least, have touched down and are ripping those units in the forests into shreds, while the Hawks continue flying around and dropping down occasionally when they run out of ammunition, like I'd say, I think most of them have at this point. But the good thing is that the Hawk Riders do massive amounts of damage in melee as well, and any units that are attempting to run any enemy ranged units that are vulnerable will get ripped apart. Frankly, melee units are a decent target as well, just not something like the Blackguard of Nagaron, which do too much damage. But any of the more basic units would be just as vulnerable. Anyway, looks like the enemy is most definitely running out of units, still attempting to head towards our tiny little line of Glade Guard, completely in vain, while the Forest Dragon and the Sisters of Twilight continue annoying them with their multi-shot attacks. The reinforcements did bring the Bolt Fiends Dark Shards as well, which do have Shield Breaker, but lose about half their number, almost exactly half their number, to a single Arrow of Kurnos. They do look pretty cool, though. I like the sort of deep purple color scheme with the gold that the Dark Elves are so fond of. Gotta appreciate their aesthetics. Anyway, Bolt Fiends probably won't be on the field for too much longer. In fact, seeing the Eagles is probably quite demoralizing, but not to worry. Bolt Fiends, it wasn't you that the Eagles are going after. We've already assassinated two enemy sorceresses, and a third will join the ranks of the dead right about now. Alright, well done to the Great Forest Eagles, and oh, did you... I thought the enemy lord had died, but that's alright. It's not like the Eagles don't have a massive amount of move speed that would allow them to reposition. Anyway, with that, the enemy army shatters and the battle is ours. The Hawk Riders will continue doing their thing and help and chase with all the rest of the birds, and I'm willing to bet most of the army will be destroyed. Alright, pretty good. Unfortunately, we weren't able to destroy every single unit of the garrison, which would have been ideal, but, well, what can you do? Can't expect it every time. We will abduct those captives, and unfortunately that won't heal up our eagles, which are still damaged, but I think that with the enemy as heavily damaged as they are there, it probably, hopefully, won't matter over much anyway. Peace treaty with Rakarth, no need for that. Why piss off the lizards there? Cetra wishes peace as well, but our ambush failed, so he will back off. Peace treaty with the pirates, no thank you. And they sally. Okay, that I was not expecting. Good for them. Good for them indeed. We'll occupy the place so that we can trade it to one of our allies before backing off to our own territories. Join war against the Deceivers? No. No real reason. They're just an annoyance. And the dwarfs want to militarialize. Isn't that interesting? Why not? I guess Simric might not be too happy with it, but whatever. And Clan Angren, no. Okay, everybody wants us to fight the Deceivers, but they're... they're just an annoyance. Helmrip wants peace still. I still don't know what the heck is happening with him. Flame Gullets? No. No. And okay, once again, everybody's wanting peace at the same time. That's what happens when you declare war on a ton of factions on the same turn, and then I guess they all want to redeclare or ask for peace on the same turn as well. Seasoned campaigner for Sisters of Twilight, worth being out there. Ambusher discovered. Alright, these guys. Nemesis Crown Bearer revealed. Oh, they have another army out here? Oh, and they're moving over here. Well, I guess Loren, that does mean you have something to do. Go deal with them. Best as you can. I could grab this Remnants of Battle while we're moving on there. How close are you to these places? Not that close. Who knows? There could be materials at sea here. I doubt it, but who knows? And Nemesis Crown Bearer is here? Oh, that's interesting. Good for them. The hunt is on. Yes, isn't it lovely? Young stag, we will go for... Oh, no battle there. It's a remnants of battle, meaning we can't... Sunken chest. One steed. Trunk of map stamp. I was hoping for a... favorable winds instead, and I guess you're gonna head to Miragliano and just, we really need those beastmen to be gone. Anyway, one last thing to do, we are going to raise, I think, grief rather than trade it. Is it gonna hurt the Eagles? No. 6 losses, and raising it is, there we go, 20k, definitely worth our time. And yes, I know it does have a landmark, but frankly, I'd rather just weaken the Dark Elves. Ooh, I wonder how much raising Nagaron would be worth. It does have a decent garrison. I mean, while we're out here. I do still want to return here, but nonetheless. He's not fighting Valkia. Who is Valkia fighting right now? Oh, she's still in a war with Harganeth. Harganeth is down to 2 territories, though, so they probably won't be fighting each other for too much longer. If we sufficiently weaken Malekith, who's down to 4 territories, it'll take him so long to recover that we probably will never need to deal with him again, which might be worth our time. Let us go into... Raiding stance doesn't help us heal, so we're going to go into ambush stance right outside Hag Grief, just in case they try to... I was gonna say re-equip it, they try to recolonize it, and then we'll head down to the Witchwood. Alright, anyway, we got one more turn remaining until the ritual, but we're going to have to save it to next time. Plus, next episode we'll get a battle with Orion as he hunts down Be'lakor. Frankly, this is kind of weak compared to the original armies that Be'lakor had, but well, what are you gonna do? And, oh! Let's make sure that the Van Heimlings are gone for good and that they don't attack the Isle of Wights. And it's on you, other Akka, other Akka. Reminding me back in the days of when the 3rd game just released and the name generator would just use the same, like, names for a lot of the lords and factions. I.e. Beledna for Kislev. Gotta love that campaign. Though anyway, with that, we're out of time. I'm calling it here. Next time we fight Be'lakor, we activate the next ritual, and hopefully we mill through a few more turns as we return to our main territories and try to pump up those ritual numbers. Stay tuned for more Orion. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.